This is my 2019 BMW M240 drift car build. I'm Jordan from Arcade Tunes. I do factory ECU tuning on BMWs. We also work on some cars, but this is one of my personal cars I'm doing just for Drift Week.
Boom, before we get started, I want to preface this. I asked Jordan from Arcade Tunes to send me a video of the car he's working on. He's trying to build this thing for Drift Week 5. We're literally 1 week out. He's building an entire car. He's absolutely batshit crazy. I don't think he's going to finish, but I just thought this was hilarious. I wanted to show you guys this whole build because it's insane and everyone's insane on Drift Week. He has a week left and he's going to build an entire car. Anyways, just watch this video. It's hilarious.
The last 2 Drift Weeks I did were the first time really getting into drifting. I did an F8m3. I got this car outside. I'll show you guys. And with that, I never really did much of it before. I wanted something sort of crazy and different. I had an F80 prior to that. That was like the fastest, highest power one. I decided to stick with what I know. Even though I'm a big E36 guy. I did an F8m3 build. This is it. Drove it to work today. I drive it around a bunch in the street. It's pretty great. It has a steering angle kit, which I've had absurd issues with over the course of time. It runs stock ECU, all of our bolt-on parts. It's been a great time with that car, but I wanted something a little bit crazier. So while this car might not make any more power than the car outside, as a full cage, which allowed me to do more events and drive on track with other people in tandem way more. We had a cage put in this car. This car was black originally. We're doing this full build on it. It's pretty crazy compared to, I guess, like a lot of times you think like most reliable drift car, you put like an LS, people think it's most reliable, or something NA, something normalish. This is like the other end of the spectrum. There's a factory B58 engine which comes in the car. We're not really doing anything other than blocking off the direct injection plugs.
Did I just hear him right? They're blocking off the fuel injection stuff. That's all they're doing, no big deal, meaning they have to do another intake manifold, different type of like port injection, an entire standalone to process everything and do it. And then that means you need wiring. That means you need a different fuel pump setup probably. And the list goes on and on and on. That's not just like, that's it. And a bigger turbo and a different aftermarket, like an exhaust manifold probably, piping. All they're doing is keeping the long block.
And doing, I guess what you get, this is pretty much people's full drift car. Like when you talk about someone's drift car, they have steering angle kit, maybe some rear arms, different clutch. That's what this is. It has stock motor, stock transmission, 6-speed, and stockish rear end, but it has Wisefab front, Wisefab rear, BC Racing coilovers, standalone, like I said, Pulsar turbo, G35 900, so 6266, relatively small, big boost turbo kit, modifying intake manifold at port injection. We have a normal radiator. This car normally has multiple. Normal radiator, big boy. Normal intercooler. Before it had air to water built into the factory intake manifold that breaks and blows up all the time. So all the factory stuff pretty much being ripped off. Standalone's going on. Basic controls. Probably gonna leave the stock fuel pump in the tank if we can figure out a way to control it properly. The last car we did was really basic bolt-on angle kit, e-brake. This car is sort of balls to walls, trying to do everything in one shot. I got hot boy wheels also, which are whatever. But cage, it's gonna have aftermarket seats. The other car did one drift week with stock seats, and I put different ones in. This will have aftermarket seats, aftermarket steering wheel, no air conditioning. All the luxuries that I loved from my Drift F80 are sort of being thrown out the window with this car. It'll be relatively bare bones. I'm not like back halving the car or anything like some people do on their drift cars. I'm keeping it pretty much all metal for right now. We'll see what happens in the future. If I crush it or mangle it, I'll have to buy like HGK or something, Y body kit. But when like Crow Top body kit for right now, it's like the best bang for the buck. I think it looks pretty cool. We're gonna block off the factory injectors. The reason why we're gonna do that is because the factory injectors are direct injection. There's not many ECUs that can properly control that. So going with a standalone lets us bolt up normal injectors to it and then control it like a normal engine. It has 2 Vanos solenoids, one on each bank. The cam sensors shouldn't be too hard to figure out and make work. Standard alternator. In terms of suspension, I went with Wisefab stuff because I had crazy problems in the past with coilovers, not coilovers, with steering angle kits and like crazy tie rod issues, binding, etc. This kit, if you buy it, you get to bolt it right onto your car, and I really like that. It took like 10-15 minutes to put this kit on the front. The rear we haven't gotten to too much, but I have like the rear kit with the additional option for the toe link, which I guess adds more mechanical grip if you set up that way, which is this little piece on the subframe. My friend Wout said don't buy it and don't install it, but we did it anyway in case I want more grip. I can easily have it versus having to weld to the subframe when it's already installed in the car. Did like 8 kg bushings in the rear. We actually filled the front mounts with polyurethane to stiffen them up a little bit because I didn't feel like spending a bunch of money on motor mounts. This car is insane. It is like standalone B58, things you don't normally see in one of these cars. I haven't tried to do things that are not needed. I wasn't going to do the wide fab rear, but I decided instead of buying all new like SPL arms that are $1,300, and I broke those before because they're aluminum on the e-brake. I was like, I'll just buy the wide fab for a little bit more money, and I'll have steel arms that are amazing. If I need replacement parts, you can get it in a few days. Wiring wise in this car, we're gonna do like an aftermarket chassis wiring harness, and I sort of decided against it. I'm gonna show you guys this horrible mess I have right now. A lot of that is extra wires we're gonna pull out. We're just sort of unplugging thing at a time to see what's what. And we sort of figured out that with a factory key, you can unlock the car, still have an alarm, have the windows work, have everything work. The car should actually start with a factory key. There'll be a few aftermarket switches for like a heater core and stuff like that. But this allows us to save some effort on like wiring. And I don't feel like most people's aftermarket wiring is as good as factory. The interior is still sort of a horrible mess right now. But I do have like an aftermarket wheel for it. I do have aftermarket seats for it because previously in my last drift car, I had stock seats. It was horrible. Then I got aftermarket seats. So that car can get upgraded aftermarket seats, and those seats can make it into this car. And then, I don't know if I mentioned, this is Dakar-ish yellow. It's pretty much Dakar yellow. Seems a hair off maybe compared to the spray cans I bought. So maybe this is Dakar and my wheel wells are Dakar-ish. But I'm trying to make it all super nice and super clean. As good as we can do in this absurd time frame, which is like, do we have 2 weeks left before drift week? And this is legitimately the current state of the car. We need to do coolant lines, make intercooler piping. I need to actually wire the ECU because I have not done that yet. I've been talking about it a lot, but I haven't actually made the proper effort to do that. The mechanic will have to, the guys here will have to finish up thinning out the OEM wiring. The OEM cluster is still installed. It's just hanging out. I hope I can unplug it and then remove all wires related to that. The same thing with the OEM radio. We haven't tested it yet. I need a coding guy come and explain how to rewire the headlights so they work properly. Electronically wise though, by ripping out all the OEM wiring that I don't need, the car won't have speed sensors, stuff like that. So the cluster I bought will have a GPS unit on it, which will work, I guess. In the future, maybe I'll add back in speed sensors if I really, really want to have like traction control or something similar. The wiring over here is also a little bit messy for right now, but we're gonna get it all cleaned up. And then also, I am not a drift car builder. I'm not a professional drifter. I'm just a guy that tunes wheel cars and I enjoy drifting. So I've sort of been building this car in a way that I enjoy. I'm not sure if the wheel is the best choice ever. We'll sort of see if they fit the car and all work out. The attention to detail has gone a little bit higher, but it's better than most, but not perfect. Like here's how the wheel wells looked after a lot of cleaning, right? Still pretty shit, right? Here's how the wheel wells look after we repainted them. That paired with like the new clean subframe, just in my opinion, just slowly levels the build up. So they're cleaning the rear wheel wells and the whole rear underbody area. We're gonna paint that too. Should we have done that when we painted the car? Absolutely. Well, my body shop friend killed me? Absolutely. So he already did a lot of stuff for me as favors, I guess. He just did more and more and more. Painted the cage separately, painted the interior yellow after, painted the car, and then huge headache. So I'm trying to just build this crazy drift car for drift week because I want to, I guess. A little bit weird. Why do people do this? A lot of people do this to compete and like get better and do crazier things. I'm just doing this sort of have fun with friends, and I found something that I love doing, it's drifting. Also, if you guys like to see this build, we do have like multiple videos in the build breakdown, like going more into depth on things. We're also still not done working on it, so we're gonna keep going more and more in depth on everything as we do more and more videos, and that'll be on my channel, which is Arcade Tunes. There will be a link down below to it. We'll keep showing you guys a little bit more, I guess, of whatever we have and just everything.
So anyways, I really hope he makes it. He obviously did great on the other drift weeks in his F8m3, which was his first drift car ever. This is his second drift car ever, a B58 2 Series. I love this guy. This is such a ridiculous thing. I really hope this car works out. I can't wait to see it in person. If you guys want to see Drift Week stuff, you can check out our YouTube channels. Check out his. It's link in the description. And also, we have the public days and everything. See you guys later. Bye.